Let's go here with Max, Jan Seiler, Gjon, the Tiger, Adrian Capsule, fighter of the Fightgecko Combat Series, 5th April. Who was Maximilian Fendt, Adrian Capsule? Who was Jan Seiler before training 10 times a week with us? What can you tell the audience about yourself?
I think I was the same guy, just less in shape. I was quite surprised by how enjoyable the camp was in terms of the people.
Like for me, sports always played a role in my life, but I just trained for myself, like doing some weight exercises and stuff like that. And then I had this, like after watching Southpaw, I had this image of myself of being in the ring one day.
Started boxing from a very young age, since my stepfather was an Austrian champion. Yeah, he kind of put me into the right way.
The training is hard, but we're getting better day by day. So the performance of all trainers here in the camp is very crazy. Like the progress that we all made in these few weeks is very good.
How would you say the coaching style differentiates from other coaches, what you did before? And did the online coaching work? Why did you do it?
I think regarding the online coaching, especially in boxing, is bullshit and doesn't work. The difference with this one is that this one is not just a video course that you get online and that's it, but it's more of a interpersonal thing. So you do something and then you get feedback and you have to do small changes day by day, and that helps. That really helps.
I have to say, it's very good for fundamentals. It's very, very basic, of course, because it's like for everybody, I thought that this training camp will be a little bit more easy. And when we got here, it got like more serious, more detailed. The coaches analyzed our style, how we work, and all this kind of stuff. So they gave us one-on-one individual feedback on what we can implement the most. Also, it's now in the upcoming fight. So yeah, just everything makes sense that you guys tell us.
Like, to be honest, I thought, okay, wow, this is like really repetitious and boring, like having 1 week after the other. And then I thought like, okay, but it makes sense, like really build your fundamental, because most people like me, myself, probably just go out and do a little bit of shadow boxing feeling cool, but you don't really work on one step at a time. And so it was like very, very structured and made a lot of sense.
I was going to some like random boxing gyms, but the problem with that is just that you don't have like a coach that goes one-to-one with you and that really makes you a suitable plan and that teaches you, okay, with your weight, with your height, you should go like this, you should go more, for example, in the in-fight, you should more be on the outside. And in these few weeks I learned more about real technical, clean boxing that I learned like in 2 years of boxing before.
How do you feel your whole skill level, because you started at zero, transformed over the past 5 months? And it was just 5 months because you never boxed before, right?
I think it's like interesting. I didn't think, especially like here for the fight camp, it's like 4 or 5 weeks now, and you don't really notice it if you're in it because all the people evolve. But then when we did the sparring against people from outside, it's like, whoa, okay, I was probably some of the guy who turned away, didn't look when he get punched, and just took the hits. And now I'm like relaxed. I can see, and it's just amazing to see how it evolves.
So you're a very successful young guy, you can do basically whatever you want. Why did you decide to take the risk and take the fight on 5th April?
First of all, I had the feeling that I had to do it, just because it was a dream since I was a little kid to have my own boxing fight. I think this is a really great show and it's a really, really nice opportunity to have your first boxing fight on. I had to do it.
To be honest, no fucking idea. It was just, you upload an Instagram story that there's a free spot. I just said yes, and
Most of you were scared. He took the spot.
I don't think there's any deep story behind that. Daniel came up to me and told me he's fighting and that Roman might be fighting as well. And then I said, yeah, fuck it, why not? I'm fighting as well.
As I said, I just had this picture in my head, and when you asked and said that I got the opportunity, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I didn't really think about it, and then it was like, okay, I gave my word. Now I'm gonna push through, and it's like just one more accomplishment to go for it. Like, yeah, it makes you feel alive and prosper.
And that's the kind of people I respect, because so many people are talking, never sticking to their words. So in a world where everybody's just speaking words into the air and never committing to them, people like Adrian is what really earn true respect. What was the biggest challenge so far in the camp? How did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge was to just stay in the same place for 8 weeks straight and not going anywhere, because I'm quite a busy guy. I travel quite a bit, and I've just stayed here in Dubai for the last 2.5 months focusing on training. That was probably the biggest challenge.
My mind, like when I came here and I came a little bit later, I had a lot of thoughts in my mind. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be probably the most unexperienced guy in the camp. I'm gonna get beaten up, and I was like really scared. And I had a mantra, and I'm like, okay, I'm brave, I'm strong, I'm gonna do this. I'm enjoying the pain. And like after the first couple of trainings and after the first sparring, I was like, okay, I get this, and it like evolved me myself a lot.
How did the last months change you? How you move, how you fight, but also maybe how you think?
I actually think I made more changes in my mind. Everything went up really, really fast, and it taught me a lot of like mental lessons.
Think is like the biggest improvement, because as I said before, I was like really scared, and now it's like, okay, I feel like very sharp. I feel on a higher energy level in every aspect of my life, and I feel like I learned a skill and evolved so fast in it. It's like just amazing.
You know, in terms of fighting, I think it definitely was worth it because I can see huge improvements in my game.
How prepared do you feel for the fight right now with 1 week out to go?
Very well prepared. I feel more sharp day by day. So yeah, I can tell that we have very good coaches here. We have really good strategies.
Can you describe a moment during the camp when you really felt a breakthrough, when you really reached the next level?
Sprints, bro. Sprints. No, in general, from week to week, especially after the recovery Sunday, you feel that you can start like fresh, recovered, and you just feel better. I had a lot of progress physically as well as mentally, of course.
The camp really expanded my universe and like my way of thinking about hard challenges.
I would say the personal growth was mainly in self-confidence. You just walk different, you just feel different if you know, okay, I'm able to fight, I'm able to protect the people around me. Also the respect that you get by other people.
What's one thing you hope your story inspires in others?
I want to inspire people that they can do everything what they want. It doesn't matter where they come from. I come from very humble beginnings. I come like not from a rich family or something like this, and today I have opportunities that I can do things like this just because I worked and I have the time for it, and I have also the financial abilities to do that. So just believe in your dreams, work hard, then you're ready to go.
What's the most powerful lesson boxing taught you for life?
To not get hit. Because I think boxing is a game of hitting and not getting hit when you break it down to the basics.
Even when you fall down, you have to get back up. It's just like that, bro. You will fail everywhere, and boxing teaches you this in a very hard way. When you get punched to the body, drop to the liver shot, you have to get up again.
I think you're living the dream life for every young guy, buying multiple cars, traveling the world, being fit, being strong, being big. And most people, I think, would wish that, but most people are afraid to take the first step. Most people are just afraid to start boxing, to start the business. What kind of advice could you give to them to maybe change their life? Maybe they listen to you.
When I first stepped into a boxing gym, I remember seeing guys in there who have been much bigger and better than me physically. And I was looking at these savages almost scared because you're going in there, you don't even know how to throw a punch, and you see people like that just ripping the heavy bag. You know, when I'm in a gym now, I think there's people who have never touched a boxing glove before that see me and think he is one of those savages. But just 5 years ago, I was not. So at the end of the day, it's a process. You will not get there in a week, you will not get there in a month, and you probably will not get there in a year. But if you just show up every single day and put the work in every single day, then it's more than achievable, and you have to trust the process and you have to follow the process.
Don't overthink anything, just get into it. Throw yourself in the cold water and get started.
So first of all, I would recommend to not think that much, because I'm an overthinker myself, so I know that problem. But sometimes you just have to think less and just do more. I know it sounds easy, but if you have the right coaches around you, if you have the right people around you, it's always very easy. Just look that you have a good friendship circle, that you know you have friends that are also doing the same things.
Just go for it. If you have this thought in your mind that you want to experience this, just go for it. I mean, everybody does the first step and everybody is a beginner at some point, so just go for it. Nothing to lose.
How do you want people to remember you?
As someone who just shows up whenever he's needed and whenever he feels like he needs to do something new, and just, you know, some crazy guy.
I want to be remembered as a man who didn't give much importance to where he comes from, who just pursued his dreams and also fought for his dreams. And just, for me, it's very important to just be an inspiration for my kids that I have later, for my grandkids, So I just want to inspire.
I like people to remember me as a guy who keeps his word, who like says X and does X, and who like has his goals, focuses them, and goes straight at them.
I think I just want to be remembered as the guy that I am by people around me, my friends and my family, and then anyone outside of that. Those people won't really remember me anyway, so I don't care too much about their opinion.
We have 5 more spots left for the Fightgecko Combat Series number 2 in December. Do you have more friends like Ben Bartley you could sign up?
You know what? I think we just might sign Ben up for this. What do you think?
Sign Ben up again, maybe Nino and Elias. What do you think? Would they be a good fit?
You know, I'm not sure. They're old. You should ask them. I think if they want it, they got it, but you would have to ask them.
Yeah, I'm professional boxing bout, so be aware. If your opponent sees this, you're in some trouble. Gjon the Tiger, let's go. 5th April, he's coming for the knockout. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.